Okay, so I'm out here on the orchard. I wanted to just sit and kind of share my thoughts about everything that's going on. Um, it's a big time of uncertainty for my family. My husband and I, we made this investment into the orchard to begin a different a different journey in our life back in 2024, and we actually liquidated everything that we had to be able to invest in the purchase of the orchard and to put us in the right positioning to be able to steward the orchard moving forward and grow with learning about farming. And so here we are. We got one season or one harvest year, which was last year with the orchard, and it was a great harvest year. We had a bountiful harvest. Some of our peaches were in upwards of 1.5 pounds a piece. And so move forward to this year, we started this year with the same kind of enthusiasm and gratitude that we were going to have the same kind of harvest. And it's there are really no words that can express how we both were in shock learning about what had happened, what choices had been made by neighbors, and the effects and consequences that we were starting to see play out in the story with the trees in the orchard. And so, it has really impacted us. This year would have been the first year that we would have had a farm service loan for operating expenses. We became ineligible because we can't cash flow it. We don't have a crop now to cash flow it with. We had made steps with farm service to be able to start putting all our documentation together for a storage facility loan, which is what we would actually use for the cannery. And so we had decided that we were going to grow all of the fruit, and we wanted to be able to preserve it because not all the fruit doesn't keep at the point that it's harvested and it's put in the cooler. If we don't have all the people or the distribution line set up for multiple families to be coming in picking up fruit, then it would waste, and we didn't want that to happen from what some of the experiences were last year. So we decided last fall to go with a new plan and to go ahead and pivot. And I took classes to get our HACCP Principles and Global Gap certification for the orchard under fresh produce industry, and was really excited that then that opened up distribution channels for us with different food carriers, and that would open doors for us to be able to get produce into retail. And so that was what we were doing. We had spent from January to mid-April. We had finished up in March with all the documentation we needed to move forward with the loan for the cannery. We needed to be able to cash flow the operating expense loan with crop revenue. And so here we are. There's been a lot of nights waking up 2 a.m., 3 a.m., not being able to sleep. Just, I'm sorry.
just worrying about what's going to happen. I do get angry about the choices that people made. The lack of care they had that we were here and that there would be an effect from them choosing to spray. So, and I realize they probably don't care because they're ranchers and, well, y'all know the price of beef right now, so, we don't ranch. I couldn't do it if I wanted to. I'd own a lot of cows that would have lots of names. But it's not in me to raise something to send it off to slaughter it, so. So we've been connected with good people to be able to help us moving forward with what we need to do for soil remediation. It'll be a couple years before we'll be able to grow any kind of crop that would generate a revenue stream, or that we could even think about generating an income off of. What we do have to do is we have to plant a cover crop to be able to activate the healing with the soil and pull out toxins and continue to water, because if we don't water, we would run the risk of losing our water rights. So I would just ask that y'all keep my family in your prayers. I really feel like on the small spectrum of what this event is for us, that this kind of speaks a lot to what's going on around the world. Everything that's happening to our food chain and to land, choices being made, and not thinking about future generations. And so I pray for an entire planet and what's going on. We're going to have our well tested. Our neighbors are having theirs. They're going to have theirs tested. The time of year that the spray happened was a high-risk time of year, and there's potential that there still could have been irrigation ditches open, and so we don't know fully. But I think that there needs to be change on the different systems and the steps that are required. If a landowner decides that they're looking into spraying, I think that there should be laws that would be, or a law that would be created that would say, just similar like what you have to do if you decide you want to parcel off a piece of your farm property with the county. You have to, at least here, you have to get it resurveyed, and you're going to have to run a notice in the paper for 14 days, and that gives your neighbors all an opportunity to bring forward any kind of rebuttals or any kind of questions that they'd have. And so there's really got to be something like that that should happen, or at least you've got to speak with your neighbors about you thinking about spraying and what you're thinking about spraying, and so everybody gets an opportunity to weigh in.
Even if the possibility of pesticide drift isn't there, there still should be that courtesy. And there has to be change. There has to be change. So our arborist is going to come back out and finish up mid-June. And we've got samples that were sent off to the lab. And so my hopes and my prayers are that the drone company will do right by the orchard and they will make us whole again so that we can start the recovery process and we can move forward with the life of the orchard and our lives. We do have a mortgage on the place, and you know, even if we wanted to sell right now, the land has been so devalued that we couldn't get what we've mortgaged it for, because it's just not there now. So, and I don't really know who'd want to buy a property that at this point, you know, the reputation of the property, I mean, it couldn't grow. So, I mean, I don't know what they do. Maybe probably cattle ranch, you know. So there you go. It's probably what everybody's waiting on is the last strip of 5+ something acres sitting here to be just another piece of land for cows. We literally sit in the middle, surrounded, which is, it's a shame. It's a shame that we don't have more people that want to farm over here and that want to produce. So, yeah, we're going to have some family come up. They want to stand beside us with this. I mean, it's a very stressful time for my husband and myself. We have family that worry. So, have you ever felt like you are just being circled by wolves? That's what we feel like. And really all we came here for was peace. So, I know it's still possible. It's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of work. And we intend to grow every step that we take with this. We will post content videos so that y'all can come along with us and see the progression. Hopefully my next video is that we're able to say, hey, you know, that company has decided to make us whole and we have good news. So, again, pray for us. Pray for this land. And I know that God is so much bigger than all of this, and He is able to change things and bring on things that are miraculous. So that's what we're asking for. We're asking for miraculous healing and miraculous turnaround. With the orchard's finances, the land, so that we can continue. I wish I had something else to say. I just wanted to sit here, like I said, at the orchard. Had other work to do, so I wanted to sit here and just kind of share with y'all a little bit of how I'm feeling. I appreciate y'all watching. Talk with you soon.